Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Not only am I excited that this is the very first video in my Halloween series 2025, but we are 3 videos a week from now on until Halloween. Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, back to the old Claire, back to how it used to be over 6 months ago. I am ready for it. Now, this mold is a beauty. The link will be down below with your 10%. This is from Moulds and Shapes. This is one of their brand new Christmas molds, but it lends itself perfectly to Halloween and witchy, wizardy vibes. So I knew I had to have a play for Halloween on this as well. I'm going to be using a combination of different things. We've got here some beautiful holographic stickers from Amazon. We've also got mica powders. Now I am going to predominantly be using purple and greys in this video. Ignore the green, I never used it, but of course if that's your vibe then you go for it, whatever colors you want really. We've also got some moon and star glitter shapes. We're also going to be using some crushed mirror glass. Now this crushed mirror glass can be found on eBay or Amazon, but honestly I bought this from a garden center where we used to live. It's just known as like decorative vase stones, so I bought tons of different ones and it's absolutely perfect for resin. The crushed mirror glass just gives the most beautiful reflection. Now the resin I'm using in this video is the Let's resin. I'm just emptying out the dregs. I am getting through so much of this resin lately, it's crazy. I don't want too much resin. I don't often meticulously plan out each and every one of my videos, but I tend to do that I think more at Halloween. The moons and stars are going in first. Now these are from Sharon Kerr, Resin Supplies Den on Facebook. I have planned each and every segment of this video purely because of the nature of the mold. I know exactly what I want to go and where I want it to go. So first up, holographic sticker. Now these are stickers. You don't have to peel them back. You can simply lay them in resin. I've got a video coming very, very soon where I'm literally just laying them down in resin without taking the sticker off. But I am going to stick this down in place. Now the reason I'm sticking this down in place is because I want those moon and star glitters to be everywhere. I'm not throwing them in, I am placing them down. Equally, I don't want them to go under the sticker won't stick down if there's glitter under it. So that sticker has to be first and foremost, most important. That is part of the witches or wizards, whichever one you want it to be, hat. And I think it's just going to work beautifully. So I had a play around, I cut excess off and I just moved it until I was really, really happy with the placement. I didn't really want it center. The hat is not like a cone. It's like a gorgeous, wavy, irregular shaped hat. So I wanted the sticker to be off center to the side just to give it that more of a, I don't know, guys, organic feel. I don't know what I'm saying, do I? So next up, we've got the moons and the stars. Now, like I said, these are from Sharon Kerr on Resin Supplies Den. I want them all over the hat and down the rim of the tray. This was super fiddly with gloves on, so I did take my gloves off because I have more control. Down the rim of the tray, this is a gorgeous chunky rim on this tray from Moulds and Shapes. It's a generous rim as well, which means when you demold, you've got room to play inside and you can pour even more resin inside, which is lucky because I'm going to need to do that because I've used the sticker. That sticker is going to remain sticky when we demold. So yeah, moons and stars going down. I'm pulling back the walls of the tray just to make sure that I've got some moons and stars down in. And all I'm doing is pushing them against the mold. If you are new to resin and you're wondering if I'm using glue or how I'm sticking them down, they literally will just cling to the silicone. The Moulds and Shapes molds are a beautiful, soft, squishy silicone, which really does help for things to cling to it. Not every silicone is like that. Sometimes you can get like quite hard, like harder plastic silicone, if that makes sense. Cheaper molds basically can often release things if you've tried to get them to cling. Next up, we're going crushed mirror glass, but first I do need to pour down a layer of resin into the rim of this tray. What I don't want is to lay down my crushed mirror glass and get air pockets, which is highly likely. You can put anything down the sides and pour resin afterwards, but the chances are you will get some air chunks, you'll get big chunky holes out the side, and I didn't want that. I want this to be absolutely gorgeous. The one thing to mention about this mould is that it is matte. The rim of this tray is matte. The surface of the gnome itself is shiny silicone. You can see it here. It's reflective. It's gorgeous. The edge of the tray is matte, so we're definitely going to get that contrast as well. I think this would be gorgeous in eco pouring mediums as well. Imagine, because you'll get such a gorgeous result, then you can go in afterwards and fill those lines around the nose, the hats, the hand, the feet. You can fill those lines with acrylic paint or something along those lines. So yes, this would also work with eco pouring medium. Now my resin is down. All I'm doing at this point is pouring in my crushed mirror glass. This is going to give us a beautiful reflective edge, but remembering the edge is matte. So the surface is matte. The results are going to be matte. I'm not going to get a shiny resin edge, but we do fix that. We do fix that. Equally, quite often I like that frosted look, you know. Now, into the hat, I am pouring some clear resin. Now, I'll be honest, I filmed this quite a while ago and I'm not quite sure what made me take this step. I think I was just backwards and forwards in my own head, not knowing what colour to do the hat, and therefore I'm not quite sure why I did this. I don't know why I went with clear, but we did. And we roll. It's made absolutely no impact or significant change to the final result. So again, honestly, I would just do the hat last and pour in your final colour. So just, yeah, it's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. All right, I don't know what to say. This was weeks ago. Next up, I am pouring in some alcohol ink. So in that rim, I've poured in the crushed mirror glass, and that is quite heavy, so that's going to sink. So I'm going to be getting some reflective shine, but I do want it to be purple. I want it to be all of the dark, moody, witchy, wizardy colours. So into that rim, I am dropping in some purple and dark indigo alcohol ink, and then I'm topping that off with more clear epoxy resin. Now, I did accidentally drop some of that alcohol ink on the hat of the wizard. I'm not too fussed. I managed to use one of my little plastic spoon tools and just scoop it off, and luckily it hadn't spread too far, so it was fine and I managed to clear it up. The reason I cleared it up is because I don't want that colour behind the hat. So once I was happy and I filled up the rim of the tray, I'm not going to do any more to the rim. Next up for me is the hands and feet, the gloves and the shoes. Now, I got these multicolored stones. These were sent to me a very long time ago from Denise over at I Love Mixed Media on Facebook. Now, sadly, Denise has closed down I Love Mixed Media on Facebook. She's going to be doing something brand new very soon, and I'm super excited to see that. But her page, I Love Mixed Media, is no longer, you can't order from it anymore. But I'm sure that these little decorative, kind of like decorative glass beads or decorative glass stones, will be available from other sources. I just need to find out where from. But yeah, that's what they are. They're like multicolored decorative glass stones, and that is what I'm putting into the hands and feet, just to give us some cool, I guess, reflectiveness and some colour into the hands and feet as well. So once I've got the resin and the stones in there, I'm simply going to take a minute just to spread those out and make sure that the hands and feet are fully covered in those stones, and just adding a little bit more resin to spread them out. Really, at this point, I just knew that I wanted to do each and every one of these compartments separately. So if you watched the miniature version of this mould, they do a keyring version at Moulds and Shapes. I made some gorgeous autumn gnomes. They were so cute. I took so long individually filling those components on the mold, and it's worth it because a mold like this, you just want to spend a little bit more time doing it. So this is layer 1 done. This is what we are looking like. We've got the alcohol inks and the crushed glass and the moons and the stars around the rim. We've got the holographic sticker in the hat with the moons and the stars, and then in the hands and feet we've got the crushed glass reflectiveness. I don't know what to call them. Glass beads. 24 hours later, and it is time for the next step. Now, thank you so much to Anna over on my Patreon. I really didn't know what to do here. So I basically said to my patrons, what am I doing with the beard? I don't want it white. I don't want it like your typical, stereotypical white wizard beard, right? I want something different. I don't know what to do here. And it was Anna that suggested a spider web of some kind. And I said, ooh, thank you, Anna. I do have silk screens. So this is what we went with. And all of my patrons had such amazing suggestions. This is honestly why I am so, so grateful that my patrons are there. I can go directly to them. They know exactly what I'm doing, you know, behind the scenes. They know everything that's going on and they know everything firsthand. So I can always just be on there and be like, guys, help, please. So it was Anna that said spiderweb in the beard would work so, so beautifully. I obviously don't want this to be creepy, but I just wanted something a little bit different. So I'm using a spiderweb silkscreen. I've rubbed it firmly down onto the beard section of the mold, and I'm using this gorgeous turquoise pink holographic chameleon powder from the Tiny Turner that Wendy from Toompish Crafts sent me. Now, guys, say that with your mouth full. That was quite a sentence. This is a beautiful, beautiful colour, but it's just so, so witchy. It's just perfect for Halloween. It's the perfect Halloween colour. And I'm using the Beauty Blend-In brush that so many of you guys told me, gosh, 6 months ago, a year ago, to use with powders on silk screens because it works so much more better and you've got more control. And you guys were not wrong because look at this result. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. So Anna, thank you. You were bang on. Spiderweb in the beard worked a dream. I'm just peeling this back. This silk screen does like to cling to resin, so you just need to be careful that you don't rip the hands out when you do that. This is what we're looking like in the beard so far. Now, I already knew from the get-go, from the beginning, this background is going to be purple. I want purple hat. I want all of the background to be purple, but not the beard, right? So the beard still has to stand out. It has to be its own color. Now, I think this is the area that I struggled the most, is what color do I put on the back of the beard? Because everyone knows black resin would make that spiderweb pop. Like, it really would make that chameleon powder pop out. But I didn't want black. And hindsight, guys, hindsight is a wonderful thing. If I was doing this again, right now I can tell you something for free. I would have done black in the beard. I wish I did black in the beard instead of dark grey mica. The dark grey mica I felt at the time was the best way forward, but knowing now what I know, I wish I went with black. I just wish I went with black, guys. If you're doing this, trust me, black is going to make the chameleon powder absolutely pop. Now, I've just used a pinky brownish tone in the nose, just mica powder. Again, nothing special, not chameleon, just mica, and just grey mica over the back of the chameleon powder spiderweb. Now it's time to fill this tray up. Now, like I said from the beginning, I knew I wanted purple in the background of the hat, which is why I still don't know to this day why I poured clear. I don't know why I did that. I don't know, maybe I had leftovers and it was like, well, it's got to go somewhere. I don't know, I really just don't know. But here we are going with purple mica powder from Resin Pro. Resin Pro micas, guys, they are up there as my favourite mica powders of all time. Not sponsored, not affiliated. I do not work with Resin Pro. I bought this myself from Amazon. It is a stunning purple stroke wine colour, almost burgundy in as well, so perfect Halloween shade. And we are filling this mould completely up. Now, can we take a moment for the fact that this is the first time in a very long time that I have mixed up exactly the right amount of resin that I needed? Like, very rare, guys. Very rare do I do that. It's usually too much or too little. But yeah, I calculated it. I filled up the cup and I poured pretty much down to the final, not even an ounce. The cup was emptied. There we go. And the mould is full. I could not have been happier. So this is me saying, guys, look, yay. I did it. So here we are. We are full up. We just have to wait 24 hours for demold. You don't. Let's go. This is the demold. Look at that gorgeous frosted glass effect edge, because the edge of this mold is, of course, matte. The rest of the mold is shiny, and look at him. I love him. I absolutely love him. The crushed mirror glass, the moons, the stars, the holographic sticker, it's all giving witchy vibes. Now you can see the difference between the shiny surface and the matte edge. Even the matte edge is beautiful in its own way. It's got that gorgeous frosted glass appearance, but I am going to brighten it up by rubbing some resin over the surface. But look at this, guys. I absolutely love it. Now, next up, we need to fill those lines that are going to define all of the areas. We need to fill them. But look at the beard. I'm not happy. I'm not too sad. I still love him. I still think he's gorgeous. But I feel like the colour I chose does not do it justice. It just doesn't do it justice. Now, I'm going to be using the Hemway Fine Silver Glitter for the edge, the lines, the embossed outlines for all of the individual components of this mold. I'm going to be filling them with epoxy resin. Now, if you watched the autumn gnome video, I used acrylic paint because they're tiny and acrylic paint was easy. Acrylic paint is absolutely not going to work on a mold this size, and I can't get into those edges even if I wanted to with acrylic paint. Like, the mess would be real. So I'm using a squeezy bottle. It took a minute for me to get it right. I did have to cut the end off because not enough was coming out. So I'm using a squeezy bottle to go in and around all of those embossed lines, highlighting the hands, the feet, the nose, the hat. In a way, I'm not too sad that the beard is not as prominent as the hat, because maybe, just maybe, the hat is the main character of this tray, right? I've put so much into the hat with the sticker and the stars that maybe I do want the hat to be seen before the rest of the tray. But I don't know, I'm still a little bit bummed that I didn't use black behind the beard. But anyway, here we are. We've got some resin here, and I've got a gloved hand, of course, PPE, and I'm just rubbing some epoxy resin from that same little batch over the surface of the edge of the mold. I'm not worried at this point if it runs down the side. I'm not using too much. I'm just using enough to give it a gentle light rub, just to bring that matte surface back to shiny so that we can really, really see. Oh, it's already popping. See those hearts? No, there's no hearts, guys. There's no hearts. I just made that up. We're going to see the stars and the moons, and the crushed reflective mirror glass is now really, really giving main character, like around that edge, because we've just rubbed some resin over to bring it to life. Now, we still have to put a top coat on this. Because that sticker, that holographic sticker in the hat is really sticky, really, really sticky still, because I stuck it directly to the mold. So remember, if you're using temporary tattoos or stickers or anything like that, you still will need to top coat once demolded. Now, this is 24 hours later because, of course, that glitter rim needed to cure up. So 24 hours later, we're going in with a beautiful thin top coat, hitting it with my Let's Resin heat gun, which is a new acquisition. Is that the right word? I don't know. Look at me using big words on a Monday. What's going on? Gorgeous heat gun, doing the job, getting all of the bubbles out of that top coat. And that is it. We are pretty much done, guys. Pretty much done. I am so happy with the way this came out. Even the beard, like, you know, looking at it from a distance, I do think maybe I did make the right choice with the beard, because it isn't so wow pow in your face. But I just wish that silkscreen spider web was a little bit more visible. You don't have to tilt the tray to see it, kind of thing. A little bit more resin around that outside edge before leaving it completely to cure up with that top coat for 24 hours. I'm going to put some self-adhesive cork circles on the feet. No, I'm not. On the bottom. And we're done. This is it. 24 hours later, I'm out in the garden to try and get the maximum exposure from the sun, so you can see just how sparkly, glittery and glorious this is. This is the absolutely beautiful Christmas gnome trinket tray mould from Moulds and Shapes, but we have Halloweened it up, turning it into a witchy wizard. I'm thinking at this point, maybe it probably could have done with something more on the beard because the colour was just a little bit not enough. But I love the spider web. You can just see it there. It's just subtle. It's just popping through. I absolutely love the silver. You know, the silver edge, the shimmer, the shine, the glisten of the glass in the edge and the sticker and the moons and the stars and the hands and the feet that have that reflective glass stone. That for me is what is making this really, really pop and stand out. I hope you feel inspired. I'm so excited for the next month. I tell you, 3 videos a week, Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays. My Halloween season 2025 just got underway. I am so excited for you guys to see what I've filmed so far. The creations are not going to stop coming. So Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, be there, 6 p.m. UK time, live chat premieres. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm buzzing for Halloween. I'm absolutely buzzing. Hope you feel inspired with this one. All of the details for everything news will be in the description box below. And I will see you in the next video, which will just be Monday, the day after tomorrow. Let's go. Bye.